Look at other people's models that have really good LinkedIn profiles. Borrow, listen, I said borrow, not copy, borrow, right, some of that knowledge for you if it applies to you. Visibility also comes from speaking. When you get up in front of a stage like this, and by the way, Jacob Javits Center has a lot of meaning for me. I took my bar exam here 20 years ago. 20 years ago. I took the exam for 2 days and then threw up for 2 days, right? Because I didn't know whether I had passed the bar, failed the bar. I just knew it was the hardest exam I had ever taken in my life. And I didn't think I was prepared. And I had 4 years of law school because I went at night because I was working during the day because I like to eat. So I had to go to law school at night. And I didn't think I had passed the bar exam in here. Next to me was a woman taking the bar exam who was about 8 months pregnant. And at the break, her water broke. You know what she did? She went back and sat down and took the rest of the bar exam. And I sat next to her saying, oh my God, I'm gonna have to help her if something happens. Oh man, finish the bar, help this woman, finish the bar. And thank God she lasted. The moment we put our pencils down, she was like, oh, and I'm screaming, get an ambulance, get an ambulance. That woman to this day, I don't even know her name, is my model of self-determination and a woman who valued what she was doing, and a woman, I should reach out to her actually, right, who showed me in that moment that regardless of the physical pain, and some of us are in a lot of physical pain. I have a torn quadricep. I show people this, right? So I have one leg that's a little shorter than the other because I tore it playing tennis in Miami. So I don't play tennis, right? Or play tennis a lot better than I did. So oftentimes there's a pain in my leg, but I keep going. And I want you guys to understand that there's going to be pain for you in building your business. I do not want you to think it's easy because it's not easy. And anyone who says it's easy is being untruthful to you. You're going to have to make hard decisions. You're going to have to sometimes deep, as I say, hold on until you reach the point where the business is as successful as you want it to be. So visibility becomes the thing. How do people find you? How do people know where you are? So for those of you that raised your hand, even if you didn't, how do you bring people to you? What do you do? Would you want to share? Yes. You hired a marketing firm. Is it working? Oh, they just working. Okay, I'm gonna give you, reach out to me in a year. Tell me if it's working. Okay, seriously, because you have to measure these things. I was a physics major, you gotta measure. What are you doing in terms of, you're doing the funnels, is it working? So tell us all about it if that funnel is working. Who else is doing something for their visibility that's working? What are you doing? Yes. Yeah. Broadcasting, I love that. Broadcasting is excellent. Commercial ads. Learn from each other. It's the key thing. A coder. Ooh, I love it. I love a coder. So, yes, go ahead. I can't hear you, my friend. Blogging. Yes, we've given up on blogging. Visibility, staying current in people's eyes is powerful. But there's also what I call intellectual. Oh, go ahead. Can someone repeat? Pop-up shops. I love that. I don't know what that is, but I love it. I love the sound of the pop-up, right? The pop-up shops. Part of your legal branding, in addition to what we've talked about, is one more thing. Using the federal law to protect it. You know these things. We just don't tend to do them. Every creative idea that you have, you must copyright. Why is that? Because the United States Constitution, the founding fathers of this company, were all employees or business owners? What were they? Employees? Business owners? Every single one of them was a business owner. From George Washington to Thomas Jefferson to Benjamin Franklin, from Alexander Hamilton. Not one of them had a job. They all owned businesses. So they wrote the Constitution to benefit Who? Businesses. They also wrote the tax code to benefit businesses because back in England, they had a little thing called debtor's prison. That's where you didn't pay your bill. They literally scooped you up and took you to prison forever until you could pay the debt. The thing is, if you're in prison, how are you going to raise the money to pay the debt? You don't. So you stay there forever unless they need you to go build a castle or a road or something. Right? Interesting, we still have that process today. So, I want you to understand the power that you have being on U.S. soil. You don't need to be a U.S. citizen, you need to be on what? U.S. soil to use the federal law. So copyright, anything that you come up with that's uniquely your own, copyright that. Or as I say, copy that. Because if you don't, I guarantee you someone who thought it was equally as interesting and nice is going to start using it and claiming it as their own. And America, 8 years ago, changed from the right of the owner, meaning the person who actually created it, to hold the title, the ownership, so no one else can use it, to the first person to file. So you could have created it, but if you talky too much, and a friend, a neighbor, a family member overheard you and said, well, that's a great idea, let me copyright that, and they hired someone or they figured out how to do it, they now own your original idea, and your original idea, and your original idea. And I tell you this because I work with so many clients that have these stories to tell me. And the first thing I want to share with you is stop sharing your creative ideas with others. Unless you have an N, a D, and an A. Non-disclosure agreement. And because I'm a federal lawyer, I say you need more than that. You need a non-disclosure agreement. You need a non-compete agreement, meaning don't compete with me for business. You need a non-circumvention agreement, meaning don't go the back way, right, to get to my intellectual property. And you need a confidentiality agreement, meaning keep it a secret. Thank you. And I call that the putting the wrapper around your business. Then you're tight. That's what tight really means. And don't think for a moment that the wealthy don't do this every day, all night, every year. This is how they build their destinies. You can't touch it. Has a totally different meaning for them. Your trademark. A lot of us have wonderful little logos, myself included. My little trademark is very simple. It's called Dr.Lydie. Right? I figured if Mikey can do it, if Nike can do it, I can do it too. Right? Trademark any short phrase that you come up with that represents your business brand. Trademark it very quickly. Because, same thing with copyright, someone you're talking to about your heart's desire, your dreams about your business, that you chitty chatter with, because you're just sharing. You're excited. You want people to be excited for you, they're trademarking your trademark. Same rule applies. First to file gets it. Not first to create it gets it. Okay? If there's the one thing you remember, please remember that. No tucky, and first to file gets your intellectual property. The third thing is patents. And you might think you don't have a patent, because a patent is a system. It's a particular way of doing something that you either came up with or you improved upon. It's rare to really come up with a whole new concept, but it's not too hard to improve on something. And you probably have a few ideas already on how to improve on something. That's a patent, worthy of federal protection. What that does is nobody else can use your system. So whether that's your particular way of making your sauce, whether that's your particular way of coding, whether that's your particular way of building a building. I have construction companies as clients because they have creative designs. That's beyond a copyright or trademark. That is a patent. So many of you have one and don't realize that you do.